Hey there, toy collector friends and Battlestar Galactica fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Triple TC, that's the time traveling toy collector, and today I am thrilled to be getting another ship into the Battlestar Galactica collection. For those of you who are unaware, Battlestar Galactica ships were being produced by Hero Collector and Eagle Moss, and of course they went under. I was not subscribed to them. I was sort of doing a bit of a pick and choose type of approach. But I have an ambition to get the majority of the fleet ships that were released, and finally been able to get hold of the Astral Queen. The Astral Queen is the, if you like, the penal ship. It's the prison colony ship that was part of the fleet. And from Master Replicas, who have acquired some of the old Hero Collector stock, I was able to get hold of this. There's still a few more that I want. But of course, you know, they're still considered purchases, even though with Master Replicas, because I am a member of the Master Replica Club, Collectors Club, whatever it's called, I do get a discount, which makes it both very, very tantalizing for me, and also sort of gives me some added value to the Collectors Club membership, which I hadn't realized. I must have read about it somewhere, but I really hadn't retained that you get X% off certain, well, most purchases. So far, any purchase I've made, I've had a discount on. So that's brilliant as far as I'm concerned, because it's more than making up for the 80 odd quid a year's membership fee. So here we have the wonderful Astral Queen, and it's again one of those dichotomies of Eagle Moss and Hero Collector production. It is extremely detailed in many respects, and in other respects you kind of think if they could just spend a little bit more time and energy on some of the detail and the paint applications, that would be great. But that is a bit of a par for the course. Now, because of the angle of the camera and the setup that I have here, a lot of this is just sort of showing you the surface level detail. But I am also going to, of course, pick it up in hand so you can see the underside, because the underside is almost where there's more stuff going on. But this is, as you can tell, as I'm giving you this sort of rotated view, this is a very long ship. This is not a small ship. You know, I think it's fair to say that it's quite a hefty display piece. It comes, of course, as most of these ships do, with a stand. I'm going to just quickly show you that so there's the official sort of sticker on the bottom. It's self-assembly. It was a real pain to get it in, and you can see that it's not symmetrical. Well, if you cut it down here, it's symmetrical if you cut it there, but you can see that it's designed for a very specific positioning on the underside, and that is around here, and I'll show you that momentarily. So now we've got it up in hand. You can feel weight in the front saucer section. Apologies for referring to it as the saucer section. I'm very conscious. There we go. Just focus in. Very conscious, makes it sound like a Star Trek ship. But the saucer section is very weighty compared to the rest of the ship. So I would say if there is any die cast in here, that's where it is. And the rest of it is quite lightweight plastic. But along with that comes my sort of standard warning that this is fragile. It would not take an awful lot of knocking about for this to be very severely compromised and damaged. Now you can see, accurate to the show, from my recollection at least, that this does have graffiti all over its upper hulls. Well, I always took it to be graffiti anyway, but yeah, it certainly looks like graffiti where I come from. Don't see any of the other ships looking like that. But I think that if you go beyond the graffiti, you can sort of see the layers on the ship. And I'll show you something else in a second as well, because what was brilliant about when I received this, that was very surprising because it doesn't happen a lot now. It also came with the magazine. Now you can just showing you that there, so you can see all of the level of surface detail on that secondary saucer, and the detail there between the sort of on the neck of the ship. You can see that these, a bit like the Battlestar itself, it has these two side elements that are joined, obviously, but there is some space between them. I really like that. So again, I'll get in a bit here so you can see the surface detailing. I think there's some really excellent surface detailing there on that section. You can see, as I try and give you as much clarity as I can to that surface detailing. Then we've got what I will take to be some thrust engine areas here. Again, very nicely detailed. You can see all of that surface molded detail there. Then we get to the back. I will, just for ease and speed, zip round and show you the other side, which is pretty much everything you've just seen on that side, but I know people like to see to be sure of that, so there we go. And then we'll now take an exciting look below that top level, and we can see what the underside brings. And as I said, it's almost more detail underneath than on top. So here we have the underside of the sort of front saucer, where we can see quite a bit of additional detailing there, which I think is handled beautifully with that sort of additional grey paint on that sort of otherwise silverish wash that we get there. We move along, you can see all of that detailing. There's more the sort of exterior pipes you can see there in the central shot. Then we have, and again, what I don't want to miss is sort of up here, all of that sort of cabling and exterior wiring that's moulded in looks so good. It really looks so good. I hope the camera does it justice, to be honest, because it really does look so good. Again, we have more exterior pipe work, as I mentioned, leading into that antenna, which has got like a forked tongue. So whether that's a long-range scanner or whatever it is, we might be able to check, because I think there's some blueprints in the magazine. We'll have a look in a second. Then we get to this rocket thrust area here, which is presumably for sublight speed travel, because it's just rocket thrusts. And I, again, love the detailing around here. All of this is just so beautifully done, and I'll just, again, trying to be very careful, because I've just commented on how light it is, but I have to point out that that front saucer really is not counterbalanced anywhere. It's surprisingly heavy and always wants to pull the ship forwards. So if you ever pick this up, so I'm just looking at, I just love that the way the pipe work is here as well. But if you ever pick this up, be mindful of that, because it is a swine. So when you're installing it onto the see, that looks like it should be more flush, but maybe I'm wrong. I'll have a look in the thing. That does look like it, to me that looks like it should be flush. It looks like that would line up. I don't want to wiggle it though, just in case that's my imagination. But again, wonderful pipe working on the underside there. The detailing is really, really excellent. I love it. I'm so glad to got it. There's still a couple. So again, this is where you have to get the situation of it just right. There we go. It sort of swoops into place. And then it is relatively sturdy, but you can see from where that's positioned, there's much more going on behind it than in front to try and counterbalance it. But I would be very mindful of the added weight of the saucer section at the front. It's not massively hefty, but it's enough to cause you a problem if you're not careful. So let's just very, very quickly, because I'm not, obviously if you want it, pick it up and then you can read the magazine at your leisure. But I'm just mindful that as we have it, Battlestar Galactica, there is the Astral Queen, and there it is in all its glory. And again, as I say, I'm not going to take you through all of the different pages because obviously it's copyright to the company that produced it, and it probably has got some historical onwards copyright. So it used to be a Starliner that was converted to the purposes of being a prison ship. It does look like they should be joined together, so I'm going to take a closer look at that momentarily to see if I can fix it. I won't be doing that on camera though, because I don't want you hearing me swear. Some nice shots, some lovely shots of the Astral Queen in action. And the interior, and then there's lots. I mean, these little magazines pack in a lot. There we go. There's the blueprints. This is what I was after. So that's a comms array. It wasn't a long range scanner. It's a comms array. I'm just having a look to see what all the. So that's there. So we can see there's armaments. There is a faster than light drive, sublight engines. So yep, main module. So that's secondary. That's the command deck, lovely. And then crew quarters and secondary cell blocks, presumably those who are less of a risk, perhaps. So the storage, the fuel storage tanks along the side, the engine. But yeah, so everything's pretty much as anticipated and expected. Some more shots. That's the Colonial 1. Which I've done a video for before. We've looked at the Vipers. That's a Heavy Raider, I think, a Raptor Heavy Raider. I haven't got one of those yet. I do debate whether to get one or not. I probably love having it, but it's not as intriguing. The Blackbird, that's another one, which I'm tempted. Yeah, there's a lot that tempts me. Oh, and there's a glossary for things that are said on Battlestar Galactica. I like that. That's different. So yeah, all in all, really happy about this. Not so happy about this because it's clear that should be together. But as I say, it might be. Don't panic, those of you having heart attacks, because I'm trying to do it now and it's creaking slightly. I will look at that. I might just leave it, to be honest, because it's not a huge issue. It's very clearly two things that need to be together, but I can probably cope from the right angles of this. Sorry, just from the right angles of this, I can probably cope with it not being a major problem for me, but annoying nevertheless. But there we go. Wait for it to swoop. There we go. It does find itself its place. Fantastic. So that's the Astral Queen. Have you picked up any of the Battlestar Galactica starships? Is there any that you've missed? And if so, which ones have you missed and would you really like to get? You might want to check out Master Replica because they do have them currently. And they, again, because they were produced by Hero Collector, I don't think that I don't know, but I don't think Master Replica actually has any kind of licensing contract to produce more. So I come back to the whole, when these are gone, the ones that are in circulation are the last ones to be in circulation, would be my view. As I say, I could be proved wrong in the future. It has been a popular range, to be sure, but my gut feeling at the moment and for the foreseeable is that we won't see new ships. So what is, or reproductions of the Hero Collector molds, if they even still exist. So like if you're like me and you have some gaps that you want to fill in your collection, that is, then keep an eye on it. They may even do some flash sales occasionally. So, but yeah, there's a couple more that I want to get my hands on. And I'm trying to eke myself out, and instead of just lashing out and buying it and going, oh, where's all my money gone? Because, you know, I also apparently have to eat and feed other people. So crazy. So as ever, do let me know your thoughts down below. Do you like this model? Do you think it's a good representation of what we saw on the screen? Is there anything about it you would like to have seen them do differently, notwithstanding the gap on that section there? Are there any ships that they didn't do that you're really gutted that never got made? I'd love to know that, because again, I love the series, but I wouldn't say I'm a complete aficionado of all of the vessels. I just know what I like. So if there's anything that you think, any particular ships that you wish you'd seen manufactured, let me know, because I'm always fascinated and keen to broaden my own knowledge of such things. Anyway, you've been a fantastic audience. Thanks for sticking around for the last 15 or 16 minutes. I've been the Triple TC, that's the Time Travelling Toy Collector. If you would love it to leave a like for the video, that would be much appreciated, as would be you dropping a free subscription to the channel, just so you don't miss any future videos. And again, feel free to explore my other Battlestar Galactica starships, and indeed any other starships or any other ranges that might be of interest to you dotted around the channel. But if not, don't worry, I'm just glad you spent the time with me today. And it just remains for me to say that a thing of beauty really is a toy forever. Take care. Bye-bye for now.